Hi everyone, it's Arlene. Welcome to another video on Use Your Stash. It's actually going to be Saturday, I believe, a day early when I get this video up. And I do have a lot of stash that I'm going to use. So the first one is this here, I work at a paint store, and so I get the swatches, the color swatches that are left over. They asked if I wanted them, and of course I said yes. Sure, why not? So I used those to cut out some cuts on the Cricut. I used a few actually. I was just playing around. I have so many colors of these. I have a big bag full of them. So they cut out great on the Cricut. Lots of different colors. So I did use that, and that just cut out a few, but I did use my stash. And so this is a turkey from the Create a Critter 2 that I cut out using those page color chips. And I also cut out a few of the acorns, and that the acorn base is from that, but the pattern paper is from the collection that I'll be showing in a minute. And it also, kind of funny, it's a little before and after turkey shot. That's the Thanksgiving turkey on the table. I cut that out to use for a later project. But those are just, all of those are from the page swatches. You can you may be able to get those at your local store, paint store. I also used the paper pack from Recollections. It's called Night and Fall. This I really do like. I always want to use more of it. In fact, when I went through it just looking for this project, I saw, oh, I can make some scrapbook pages from this. So it has night and fall, so it's more of a Halloween theme with the fall in the background. I really love this paper, and I know this has been several years at least in my stash. So I was glad to be able to use that today. And so I just used some cardstock, and I used started out with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of an orange cardstock, and I cut it in lengthwise. So my card size is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and then I scored it down the middle at 5.5 inches. Then I also took some, I have chalk ink. It's been around for a while. I've had it in my stash. I chalked around the edges, all 4 edges actually of that. And then I used a brown piece of cardstock, just 1/4 of an inch smaller. And then I took the leaves right there. That's the pattern paper from the Recollections pack. That, again, 1/4 of an inch smaller. And I inked around the edges on that one as well. And then I took a little piece of paper, the same width as the leaf paper, and I believe it's 2 inches, about 2.5 inches. And I'm going to layer all of that together for my card. I'm just using some Tombow glue. I'm glad that it did work. I think my kids misplaced the lid to that thing, so I'm going to have to find it. It'll go quickly, dry up quickly. So I'm just going to place that on there like that. And then I'm taking the bottom part. But before I do, I want to take a border punch. And I'm going to punch the top of this bottom piece of paper there with a border punch. You can really use anything you have. This is just something I've had. It was, this is made by Stampin' Up. It's one of their border punches. Put that on there just to give it a little bit of a design, something a little different. And I'm going to glue that. And again, that pattern paper came from the Recollections pack that I showed, the night and the fall. Isn't it pretty? I love those colors together. And I know it's a few years old, like I said. So again, using some Tombow glue, just apply that to the base of your card. And then I'm going to take that cut out turkey. He's so fun. He's a cute little turkey guy. And I want to pop him up. So before I do that though, I'm going to add my greeting. And that's just a piece of vanilla cardstock. I've cut it, that's 1/2 inch long. And I didn't worry about, wide anyway, and I didn't worry about how long it was because I'm going to be cutting that off. So I used a stamp set by Cards TV, Thankful for You, and that's got a lot of different Thanksgiving fallish designs on there, some stamp sayings. And I'm using the Early Espresso Stampin' Up! Ink pad. Just going to ink that onto that strip of vanilla cardstock. And I like the acrylic stamps when they're clear like that, especially when you have to worry about placement. You don't have to, get out anything special to make sure it fits just right because you can see it. So I like that. And then, so again, just making like, notching it and making the little edges, a little notched edge there on each side. So I'll be putting that on each side. I want to make sure that it's small enough so it doesn't go over the edge of that card. So I trimmed the edges off first before. And then just a little slit down the middle, and then at an angle from each side into the middle. And that gives you a really good, quick and easy way to give that card that edge, that notched edge there. Again, taking up some of my chalk ink just on the edge there with the brown. And you'll notice that that brown doesn't match exactly with that early espresso stamp pad that I used, but it still goes well. Both of the browns go well together. That early espresso is not a real red color. It's a pretty good dark brown. Sometimes you get some reds that are a little, browns are a little red, but I didn't want it to go too red because you had some orange in those leaves with the card, and on that patterned paper. So I didn't want to add some more red brown to make it a little bit different. So this was a good, nice dark brown. I used some Stampin' Dimensionals to pop up Mr. Turkey. He's so cute. And I had inked around the edges too of that turkey, as you can tell from my fingers. They got some inky fingers. And again, I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to put on to pop the saying up. And then that one is Gobble Till You Wobble. Good fitting saying. Okay, and then I wanted to add a little bit more to that card. So I took some red buttons. Now these red buttons were from a pack that I purchased at Hobby Lobby not too long ago, and they were $3.99, but they were 80% off. All of the fall products were, so that was a really good buy right there. It was at 80%. So I just took 2 of those and used some glue dots, and I'm going to just take and apply the glue dots to that, put them on the bottom right hand side of my card. And you can see how the red from the buttons, it brings out the red from the turkey there. So I wanted to show a little bit of that off. Okay, so it folds up from the top. And then I took a piece of vanilla cardstock, just a 1/4 inch smaller than the base of the inside. And then I also used the border punch. So you see how it flows. You've got a nice flow because the border punch was used at the front, in the front of the card, and then used on the inside of the card as well. So just the top and the bottom there. And the Happy Thanksgiving stamp is from the same Thankful for You Cards TV stamp set. I'm just taking some Tombow glue. Tombow glue sometimes is nice when you want to have just a little bit of give. When you're putting something down, it's got a little bit of give before it dries, unlike a dry adhesive. So you can move it a little bit around. So that's one thing that's good about it. And I'm taking some of those acorns that I made. It's made with 2 pieces. Again, that pattern paper, that is the same as the front of the card. And then some of my paint chip swatches to make the acorn itself. And that's your completed card. And so those 2 acorns, I made quite a few of those acorns, and I'm going to make a little get a little goodie bag. That's for some gals at work, so I still have a few more to make on those. So this piece of brown, just a scrap of paper, that is 4 inches by 3.5, and then I folded it in half, and then I took a piece of vanilla cardstock for the front of the card, and again, same stamp set, and it says Thankful for You. I thought that was a cute one for my coworkers. And I've got a little cellophane bag that I filled up with these fall M&Ms. Aren't those cute? I picked those up actually a little while, well, not too long ago. It was this year, but I picked it up maybe a few weeks ago with good intentions for Halloween, but you know how that goes. And so staple those together. I had a little bit of technical difficulty with that stapler. And taking the Tombow, going to apply it over. So I stapled it first, and then I put the piece of paper so that covers the staples on the front. And with the acorns, I have 2 of them. One of them I glued down so it's flat, and the second one I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to place one on the back so it pops that up and gives it some dimension. Right there. And again, you can dress this up with twine. That would be really pretty. A twine bow up there on the top. But Put some splatter too on the top of that, where it says thankful for you. That would be good. Some Stampin' Mist or something cute. So there they are, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this gave you some inspiration to go out and make things yourself. Thank you.